Kampala Central is one of the 5 divisions in the city. It is the smallest but most centrally located at 100 degrees and 19 minutes north of the equator. Its landmass covers 14.64 square kilometers and is 7 kilometers north of Lake Victoria from Port Bell, Luzira. The Central Division is divided into 20 administrative parishes and 135 zones. Among them is Kamocha, Kololo, and Nakasero. According to Kampala City Council statistics, this area has over 120,000 residents, and the number keeps growing at 5.2% annually. Kampala Central constituency has got a total of 110,321 registered voters. Tussling it out for this parliamentary constituency seat will be Mohamed Nsereko, standing on the NRM ticket, Eddie Yawe on the DP ticket, Kibirige Mayanja on the FDC/IPC ticket, and 21-year-old Ernest Benjamin Kivumbi on People's Democratic Party PDP ticket. In the 2006 general elections, it was almost a similar scenario, except that NRM's Francis Babu lost by 103 votes to DP Erias Lukwago. Erias Lukwago garnered 20,069 votes against Babu's 19,966 votes. The daytime population in the city center is 4.5 million, leading to a lot of congestion in an area designed for less than 500,000 people in the 1960s. But Eddie Yawe, a musician and journalist by training, who is seeking the area MP seat on the DP ticket, cites poor planning for this state of affairs, where markets and other big businesses are concentrated in the heart of the city.
I don't believe that every trader would go to one market of Chiseka. Let us believe that we can have, by way of asking government to give us some of the land available to extend the markets.
However, Kibirige Mayanja, a 2-time presidential candidate, now contesting for the seat on the IPC ticket, feels poor policies are Kampala Central's major undoing.
Those who tried to use influence to go through the big people, I think they burnt their fingers. And that emphasizes the need to have the consensus, the understanding of all the key players involved before we really come up with a real concrete plan.
This division has the country's leading hotels, banks, industries, as well as shopping malls and major entertainment centers. In the 2008-2009 financial year, Kampala Central contributed over 196 billion shillings in taxes, mainly from property and ground rent, to the national coffers. Unlike in Nairobi and Kigali, Kampala is the only city in the region where all modes of transport are allowed, with more than 50,000 boda-boda motorcycles operating here. These boda-bodas come in handy during traffic jam, but add to the congestion. However, boda-boda riders are influential in the city's politics, with politicians courting them. NRM flag bearer Mohamed Nsereko has his fingers at the leaders as the source of the mess in the city.
We do not have very many cars in this city, but we lack robots. We only have a number of traffic policemen, very many, littered everywhere. They are doing a great work, but it would be better if we have working lights.
Nsereko believes he will create significant change by addressing the healthcare, infrastructure, and employment challenges through lobbying government, since he can easily work with President Museveni if he retains the job in February.
To harness this work, one, improved budgeting by giving Kampala an extraordinarily high budget for its roads, for its drainage, and for housing.
In the 2002 population census, Kampala Central had 37% of the population below 15 years. These have since grown, making the youth the majority, many of whom are unemployed. Now, some have resorted to crime, while others are into casual jobs like vending and pottery. However, the residents have great expectations.
universal adult education.
We want government to introduce universal adult education to cater for those who cannot afford fees at the technical level.
Emyala muno mu kibuga eyitiridde.
Waterlogged drainages have become breeding grounds for mosquitoes that cause malaria. The upcoming MP should address this problem.
And the parliamentary candidates have various approaches to bettering the lives of these people.
I'll try to contact and connect those youths, and my program, I believe that at least 500 to 800 students will be awarded scholarships by way of connection to international universities.
We should embark on helping, empowering the people, boost their incomes at their own jobs. A woman vending food lives with a working capital of 100,000. When you inject another 300,000, she can feed 30 people instead of 10. Take back home about 10,000. Monthly turnover, net about 300,000. Now, this is important. That's empowering people at their own jobs.
We think that the youths and many of those who are unemployed in Kampala, they need some training first, skills. Skills in terms of practical skills like plumbing, like furniture making, like car repairs.
Kampala Central, like any other city center, is full of sharp contrasts. It has the high-class living in the leafy areas like Kololo and Nakasero, but also has some of the biggest slums where more than 6 people share a small shack.
We do not have to evict these people. Let's construct for them, give them mortgages, and they pay for them even if it's 20, 30 years, just like in form of rent.
The 2002 report also showed that 85% of Kampala residents had access to piped water, while 15% depend on other sources like wells, which are contaminated due to poor drainage. This is evident during the rainy season when floods make roads impassable. Nsereko blames this on Kampala City Council.
I think it's very important that in the new bill, that not only should the central government take over the management and construction of roads, but also the drainage. Because if you construct the roads and you leave the drainage hanging, you've done nothing.
Ever since Kampala was split into several divisions, Kampala Central has seen several leaders. However, the biggest challenge the division has faced is garbage like this, which remains the thorn in the residents' flesh. The existing solid waste disposal services cover about 60% of the division. It is estimated that over 25,000 tons of waste is generated every month, and the division, together with private sector, effectively collect only 40% of it. The remaining 40% of the households, which do not receive regular services, either burn or bury the waste on the site or dump it in the gardens, along the roads and open drains. Many parts of Kampala, especially the city center, are often choking with all sorts of rubbish, mainly from roadside vendors and markets. Incumbent MP Erias Lukwago, who is now vying for mayorship, feels Kampala's biggest problem is corruption, which terribly affects service delivery.
What has been my central focus is to ensure that we block all the channels these people have been using to siphon off our funds, so that we redirect, we refocus the development in the city here.
Other residents have been unfairly evicted from their land. Urban planning experts recommend a total overhaul of the city's road network, markets, and drainage systems. All is said and done. Time will tell whether Kampala will be significantly transformed in the next 5 years. Sudhir Biaruhanga, NTV.